So it is 3:36 p.m. in the afternoon, East African Standard Time, and here is Alyce. On days like this when I'm just trying to think about life and trying to think about what I want, I feel like sometimes I should start a new hobby and maybe I should start learning guitar. But then I already cut 3 strings, all the bass strings off my guitar. I was young, I was naive, I was curious, so whatever, I'm sorry. But anyway, I'm thinking I should start a hobby like in music and just sing like one song in my career. Like, I don't even know. Don't you remember you told me you love me, baby? You said you'd be coming back, I swear again, baby. Baby, 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 oh baby, I love you, I really do. Ow! Yes. So maybe I should take this point to say something interesting, and it's probably about one of the things that I've been reading about, because I read anyway. It's about smart goals, which is exactly what I'm doing right now. And I guess this is something I have to think about now, because I am like, I've just completed one portion of my life, which is like fundamental or foundation education. Anyway, so I've just finished school, and definitely this is a point where like most people plunge into this sea of not knowing what they want to achieve. Why would the sun do this to? But like, now after finishing, I realized how much energy I used to just put in finishing assignments and doing that, because it was the immediate goal right in front of me. And after that, I hadn't given much thought to my future, what I wanted in the long term. I only thought about my short term, like my immediate short term goals. So I'd like to say that I've been reading about smart plans, and I feel like that's really useful. I have smart plans are specific, measurable. I always forget the A. Why? Attainable, achievable, assignable. Okay, this A keeps changing. So S, specific, M, measurable, A, attainable, R, realistic, and within a time limit. And this is interesting because like I feel like right now I'm sitting down and thinking about the things I want to achieve in the next few years, and I feel like it's really eye-opening. Like someone will say that, oh, let me not use people, like I'll say like, oh, I want a big house, but then I find like big houses in this country cost like 200 million Kenya shillings, and I'm just a graduate, so I'm getting out there, and now the salary, the entry-level salary is like 30,000. And I want to buy a house for 200 million. That's a lot of zeros. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Oh my God. If you're specific about your goals, then now you can begin to map out plans towards it. And do you know that there is a very small percentage of people that actually even complete their New Year's resolutions? Like it was a survey done in America, and they were saying that 62% of the population make New Year resolutions, but only 75% of the people who make those resolutions make it past the first week. That means 25% of people just wrote down the resolutions but didn't even embark on the journey. You know, like it's like one of those ones. I remember the days when I used to try dieting, and you're like, I'm dieting, starting today, I'm not eating juice. I'm not eating like sweets and cakes and chips and anything. And then today I'm so pumped, I don't even eat anything. I'm just drinking water, lemon water, green tea over there. And then the next morning, I just find myself eating like 4 slices of bread. Sijui, then 1 cup of uji. Then sijui, like 1 plate of like ugali ya jana. Oh my goodness. So you see how sometimes you really, apart from having a goal, you really need to have a plan. Because if you starve yourself one day because of a diet, then the next day what are you gonna do? You're gonna starve again. Of course you're gonna binge eat. So it's good for someone if you want to have like a specific plan, write it down. Apparently there's a study from Harvard University from 1979 where this NBA students were asked to answer a question like, have you written down your goals and have you written down plans that are aimed at achieving those goals? And from that question, 84% of the students answered no, they haven't written their goals, but they kind of know them, I guess. So then 13% of the remaining, no, not 13% of the remaining, so 84% said no, 13% had goals, but they hadn't written down plans aimed at achieving them. But only 3% had written down goals as well as plans aimed at achieving those goals. So 10 years later, when the research was carried out again, not research, like the results were tallied, it was found out that the 13% who had written down goals, just writing it down, were earning twice as much as the 84% who had never written down their goals. But what was more interesting was that the 3% who had written down their goals and written plans, like had plans aimed at achieving those goals, and 10 times as much as the 97% of the rest, like 97% combined. That's pretty incredible, considering it just takes your hand, a biro, and a paper, and just writing it down. My goodness. So I just thought about it, and it's sometimes I read about how writing usually helps this, and this is because writing works in two processes, which is number one, external storage, and number two, encoding. Number one, external storage is just the one where you're told to write like quotes on the wall so that you always remember what this is about, so that it's constantly active in your brain. You know what you're headed to, what you're trying to achieve. And secondly, encoding is what were they saying it is? Encoding is like, it lets information access a different part of your brain than the part of your brain that's usually used to normal working. For example, if you take a biro and a pen, or a pen, and you take a piece of paper and you draw out your dreams, like if you've ever wanted like a 3-story house, you draw the 3-story house, you color it, you can write whatever it is you want, you can scribble, you can make it very you can download pictures, all those things. It kind of puts your mind at, it puts everything clearly before your mind. So your mind is very, very aware of what exactly it is that you want. And it helps you, it helps to give you direction in whichever way you want to go. And then measurable. It's not about you're not supposed to live big and think beyond the box and things like that. But the thing is, that's where planning comes in. It's only measurable if you think about it in terms of if you put numbers. Let's say if you say that I want to earn 1 million Kenya shillings in this year, so when are you going to start earning it? In November. And then when are you going to start are you going to earn 500 November, December? You see, so you need to understand how you're going to go from Jan to Feb to March to April to May to June. You need to make those steps towards earning that 1 million Kenya shillings. And even if you're headed to earning it, you also need to, that's how measurable it becomes. You need to know that, I need to earn this amount in this month. And if you can do that, that's measurable. Then you go to the next month, and then you can increase the measure as you go. And the next one is achievable. And that's, at a particular step, that's how achievable it is. You look like for real, if you say you want to earn 500,000, but you've never had a job and you're not actively looking for a job or for employment, and you spend most of your day watching series, I feel like it's a little bit unachievable at the moment. So you're gonna have to quit your bad habits. Don't procrastinate, and that's how you make it achievable. If you're working towards it and you're building goals, you say from, okay, I'm gonna start earning 1,000, 10,000, 10,000, 20, 30, 200, ding, 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 you're in for the win. 1 million shillings is all yours. Realistic. I feel like it's just going back to the same point. You really need to be realistic. You need to look at your experience. If CEOs are the ones who earn all that money, how are you gonna be paid all that money and you're not a CEO? So you need to see your qualifications and see how you can get there, or see if you can go through a different direction. Yeah. Time bound. Ding ding ding. We have it, folks. So it has to be time bound. I don't know who said it. Nicholas Hill, maybe. He said that a goal without a deadline is just a wish. Because you say you want to drive a Range Rover, but you don't know when you want to drive it, and you don't know how much you'll be earning by then. Like if you say you're like, where by the time you're 30, I mean, you have to start working to earning a lot of money in your 20s so that you can buy that Range Rover when you're 30. Exactly. So another important thing was you have to have a massive action plan. And a massive action plan is a plan that's constantly changing to get you to the same goal. For example, you take your goals and you draw yourself a roadmap towards those goals. If you want to earn 1 million shillings, like find out the kind of people who are earning 1 million shillings and why they're being paid 1 million shillings for whatever they do. Then find out how you can get to be paid 1 million shillings and find out how they started out, and you see how you're going to start out and map your way towards there. And you might think that, oh, I want to be a CEO. Then when you're being a CEO, then you're like, nah, it doesn't work for me. So you find something else. You see your plan is changing, but your goal is still the same. Yeah, and then you also have to find a strong enough reason why you want to make it there. Like, why do you want to earn 1 million shillings? If it's because you want to buy like a fancy car and everything, you know, those things are fleeting. But if it's, for example, that you want to provide for like your siblings or your family, or you want to buy your mom a house, or you want to have your dad start a business, or if you yourself want to start a business and make something of yourself, you see, that's something that's going to keep driving you, and it's going to take you through the hard times. And you know, you have to be grateful for the hard times because they made you, you know. So keep striving for progress, and it's been great. I'll talk to you later about something else that I've been reading about. But later. You told me you're coming back again, baby. In the spirit of immortality, 안녕하세요. Bye bye.